Hey everybody, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So as always, it's been a while since I've recorded a video. It's just how it works these days. So I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who is patient with me and understanding and still following along on my journey here on YouTube. So thank you very much for understanding. If you're new here, welcome back. My name is Janessa, and I'm basically just a lifestyle vlogger now. I am just vlogging my life journey basically, and now it's really focused on the fact that I'm a new mom. So hope you enjoy. So today's video is going to be all about our first month. Bentley is almost, well, not almost 2 months, but closer to 2 months now. He's past the 1 month mark. And I thought I'd just take a trip down memory lane and tell everybody about how our first month was, explain everything week by week for both Bentley and myself. And hopefully this kind of helps anybody who is pregnant right now, going to have a child, kind of helps prepare you. I guess opens your eyes to new things that you never maybe thought of. And if you're, or even if you're not pregnant and you're thinking about having a baby. So, our first week home went by in an absolute blur. It's kind of like when I gave birth. I remember it was painful. I remember the things I said and the things people told me, but I don't remember at the same time, if that makes any sense. And I'll totally have more babies. Anyway, so that's kind of how our first week home was. It flew by. I remember certain bits and pieces of it, but I don't remember specifics. I do remember the first night home was really, really rough. And they actually told us that in the hospital it was going to be rough. They told us that, you know, your baby is now out of you. And the first night, he was not only not in mommy anymore, he was adjusting. And so he got comfortable with the small room that we were in. And now, not only is he adjusting to not being inside mommy, but you're taking him home. So he's adjusting to his new surroundings. Every room takes time. So they said the first night or first few nights would be pretty rough. So the first night was pretty brutal. So I think I only got maybe a total of an hour of sleep that entire night after we brought Bentley home. And that's basically how our entire first week was no sleep, basically. That's really all I remember about the first week of Bentley being home. He also didn't want to be put down the first week. I remember, like, he just wouldn't sleep anywhere unless he was on your chest or in your arms. And because you're so tired, you're just like, screw it. I'm gonna just let him sleep on my chest or in my arms, like beside me in bed, because you have literally gotten no sleep and you're so exhausted. So you just give into it. And for myself, for the first week, just exhaustion. Like, that's exhaustion and very, very, very sore. Like, you just gave birth and I had a vaginal delivery. So I was very sore. I was very careful with myself the first week. So sitting down, standing up, moving around, like, I took it very slow and very cautiously. And they tell you to soak in warm water twice a day. And I added Epsom salts to mine. So I just made sure that first little while, like the first few weeks, that I was getting my twice a day soak just to help myself heal properly down there. And that I was taking all the time in the world to do everything I was told about helping myself heal and just enjoying being a new mom, or trying to enjoy being a new mom through the sleep exhaustion. No, I'm just kidding. I love it. And I also, the bath really, really helps with your boobs the first week because they are so sore. Your milk comes in, your nipples are not used to obviously having someone feed off of them all the time. And so it really, really helps that bath, not just for healing your area downstairs, but for helping your boobs too. Going into the second week, we still were adjusting, obviously, but getting a little bit better. Bentley was starting to sleep a little bit at a time in his bassinet at night and in his playpen during the day, but he was still really wanting to be on my chest or in my arms in bed beside me or on the couch in my arms. He did not want to be swaddled. He hated being swaddled. He screamed more when we swaddled him than when he wasn't swaddled. So yeah, we even had sleep sacks that we were given that are basically, they swaddle your baby for you with like the Velcro so you don't have to have them wrapped up. And he didn't like those either. So we found he slept way better when we didn't try to swaddle him and we just kind of wrapped him in a blanket, I guess, and laid him down. He would sleep for a few hours in his bassinet and a few hours in his bassinet at night and a few hours in his playpen out in the like our living room area. But eventually he just wouldn't sleep unless he was being held or being cuddled. And you know, I was tired and so was Bryce, and what worked for us was letting him be cuddled. And I mean, he's a baby, you can't spoil a baby, right? So other than that, he was doing really, really good the second week. He had a checkup and he was gaining weight. I believe he was around the 7-pound mark in the second week already. So he was really, he was in the 7-pound mark in his second week. So he was gaining weight. He was really, really healthy otherwise. So he was doing so good the second week. For myself, the second week, I learned to accept. One of the best things is I have a lot of good friends that are mommies already, and are so supportive and have been such an amazing help for Bryce and I, well, for me especially, since Bentley has been born. But my one good friend who is mommy already, she gave me a book to borrow to read. And along with that, and talking to a couple of my friends, I learned to accept. My biggest thing is I was having an internal struggle. And when I say that, I mean my struggle was with what society says you should do, and family and just people saying you should be doing, and their judgments, and what I felt was right and was best for Bentley and myself and Bryce. So I was struggling with that, and Bryce is just basically this whole time has been whatever works for you, babe. So I was really struggling with, I guess, the society and people in our lives' opinions and what was working and feeling best to me. And so this book I was given, it just really helped me accept me as a mom. It helped me accept what I was doing. Like, what I was doing was following my mommy instincts. What I was doing was what was feeling best and safest to me, and what was working for me and for Bentley, and what made him happier and me feel safe, like more confident. And this book helped me believe in myself, helped me keep going that way instead of letting everybody else get in my head. So that was my biggest thing the second week of Bentley being home, was definitely acceptance. Just accepting that what I was doing was okay. What I was doing was right, because we as women, we are programmed to be the ones to know our baby best. It's just how it is. And new parents, we have to do trial and error because we're new to this. And unfortunately, what worked for, my mother-in-law for her babies may not work for us, or what worked for my dad with my sister and I might not work for us with Bentley, right? So we really had to just get rid of what everybody else and what society paints as the right thing and only way to raise and do things with your babies, and just do what worked for us. So that was my biggest thing the second week, was just accepting that and understanding that. I was also pretty emotional the second week, and it was actually for no particular reason other than I think I was just overtired. I would just cry for no reason. I'd have like these bursts for like 2 or 3 minutes of just crying, and I don't know why I was crying. I just would cry, but it made me feel better to cry, to get the tears out and let everything out. And then I just wiped my face and blew my nose and went back to being mommy, and I was good. It's just like I needed that emotional release to keep going. So I don't know why, but that was how our second week went with Bentley. So going into the third week, things started to transition. So the third week is when I decided to make a routine. Now, when I say routine, here's the thing. I don't believe in a sleep routine, and I don't believe in a feeding routine. I feed baby led. So whenever Bentley tells me he's hungry, he gets fed. And that's how I do it, because that's how I have a happier, healthier baby. And obviously I'm doing something right because he is growing like crazy. For people who do believe in those and do that, good for you. That's awesome if it works for you. Like, each to their own. Whatever works for you is what you should do. But I don't. So when I say I made a routine, I made a morning routine and it made a night routine that worked best for us. And I have a video that goes crazy into details, but that's what I did. I made a morning routine where we do the exact same motions every morning, just for like the waking up period. We do the same things. So he would start to realize what daytime is, and at night we did the same thing. So he would start to realize, okay, now we're winding down for the day. We're gonna have bedtime where I sleep longer. And I know routine, like, it takes a long time for babies to realize and to adjust. So like I said, I started it then, we're still doing it now. And he's getting the hang of it and making his own schedules for things that I'm starting to catch on to. But our third week was when I started the morning and night routine. We also started going for walks more consistently. So every single day, no matter what, we would go for a walk. So that was a big changer. It made me feel a lot better. And he loves being outside. It's crazy. He would just love staring at everything. He just loves it so much. So we would go outside for a walk. Not every day would it be a long walk, but I would make sure we got outside and we went for a walk. That was part of our daytime routine. So he knew, okay, we're outside. When he started to sleep a little bit longer in his bassinet at night and a little bit longer in his playpen during the days. And he was gaining. Again, he was in the middle of the 7-pound mark. So every week he was really gaining a lot, because he kind of he'd go from like, I think it was 7 pounds, 3 ounces. And then he was 7 pounds, 15 ounces. So like he was jumping quite a bit. He was gaining a lot. He was doing really well. The only thing was we did have to go to the doctor. We had our very first doctor's visit. That wasn't our pediatrician coming to our house to do the check on him. He had a heat rash, and I was pretty sure it was heat rash, but I wasn't sure. And you know, you're a new mom, so you're always kind of second guessing if you're right or not about that stuff. And yeah, it was just a heat rash. It went away really easily. I always thought he was cold. He definitely wasn't. He runs like his dad. His internal thermometer is warm all the time. So I just had to adjust to knowing that, you know, as long as his chest is warm and his back is warm, he's okay. If his little hands or his little feet are chilly, that doesn't mean he's cold. So you don't have to bundle him up and make him all toasty warm. So that was one thing I learned in the third week. For myself in the third week, things took a turn, postpartum wise for myself. So the healing area, I started having a bath only once a day at night, so it would be a longer soak. But other than that, I was healing really well. Breastfeeding going really good. But my postpartum mentally took a turn. Week 4, things are crazy changing with little Bentley. So he definitely started to catch on to daytime and nighttime. And he was being awake for a lot more during the day. He was more alert, really starting to like watch things, follow sounds, follow things, make faces. So he was definitely changing there. He knows for sure Bryce and I's voice. Like by week 4, there was no doubt that he knew us at all. Like, no second guessing if he was just moving because he wanted to, or if because you were talking and he wasn't with you. Like, he definitely knew his sounds and who we are. Growing like crazy. And yeah, we just continued walks. So he was 9 pounds 6 ounces at the 4-week mark, and he was starting to get a sleep time routine where I could kind of know, like, he would sleep for about 2 hours, wake up, feed, sleep for 2 hours. So he was starting to get like a nighttime routine down, which was really, really nice. And I was starting to catch on to the things he would do and wouldn't do, like during day and night, like to tell that he knew the difference. So it was making a big difference there. His sleeping, like I said, it was getting better in his bassinet at night, but I never, you know, if he just wouldn't sleep in his bassinet, I didn't keep fighting it. I was like, you know what? You can sleep beside mom in bed and we'll both get more sleep. That is week 4 for Bentley. Week 4 for me. Still having my baths every night, soaking in the Epsom salts. My postpartum, still there. It started to kind of take a scary turn. Yeah. So that is our first month in a nutshell. Bentley grew a lot throughout the first month. Like I said, by the 4th week, he was 9 pounds 6 ounces already. He was catching on to daytime versus nighttime. He was starting to kind of get a routine for nighttime on his own, making his own routine. He was loving outside. He was starting to follow sounds. He knows mommy and daddy's voice. He was more interactive during the day, and it's just perfect. I love my baby so much. He's definitely the best thing I've ever done in my entire life. I hope that it is a good video. I hope that you liked it. I hope it was educational. I hope that maybe you learned things that you hadn't known before. And I hope it helps some people. If you have any comments or questions, definitely leave them down below, or you can message me privately. In the description box, I have 2 different ways you can message me privately. And that's really all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up / like button on your way out, which gives this video and my overall channel very much support that it needs, as well as hitting the lovely subscribe button, which will let you know as soon as I upload a video every single time, so you don't miss a new one, and it'll just bring you part of my YouTube family jamily here. I just want to say thank you so much for all your support and for following along. Like I said, I hope this video wasn't too boring for you. I do have a lot more videos for you guys, so stay tuned. And I hope that you guys are all staying healthy and safe with all the craziness that is going on in the world right now.